Your pal Hops and Scotch here today with another weed walk, sponsored by your pal the neighbors. As always, to find weeds and plants and all kinds of feeds, you are going to need to go for a little bit of a trip, a little further than necessary, but sometimes not. And just in your yard alone, you can find all kinds of feeds. Here's some black medic, a moderate feed. Most people would call it clover, but as you can tell, it's not clover due to the little points on the leaves. It's a moderate feed. Some tortoises like it, some not so much. Walking a little further, you'll see dandelions. Where is one? We'll skip dandelions and move to sow thistle. You can see that sow thistle there with prickly little leaves. More creeping Charlie, visited by crybaby Sway in the backyard, the dog. Here's a dandelion here. You can tell it's a dandelion due to the spade-shaped leaves, the yellow head, and the tap root. One usually large single individual root per plant. Keep on walking. Look at that giant. That is a black medic clover. Look at this other one here. We're gonna have to do some actual picking today, or my yard will become overrun because I don't use chemicals or fertilizers. Here we have some pansies. They're from a grow center, so they won't be able to be fed until the end of the year. The wonderful shelves coming to say hello with her pansies that won't be able to be fed until the end of the year. They've been banged off after being bought from the grow center, then fed to the tortoises once they've been planted in new chemical-free topsoil. Here we have a bunch of no feeds. Vines are no feeds. I don't know what that is called anymore, but it's a no feed. A no feed. These are places that I either could use a chemical or could use other ideas to get rid of these things. Here's some beautiful hen bit, and we'll throw these. See, I've just got a handful of a variety of things. We'll throw these in with the tortoises, and they'll come around when they're ready. Little March tucked into her corner there. It's a little cooler out today, so they'll come out when they're ready. And the reason today's video is brought to you by the neighbors is because look at all this plantain. Like, this just doesn't do justice how much plantain there is in here. Anything that's not exactly perfect, I don't always feed. But this here's just been cut by a lawnmower. Is the only thing wrong with it is that it's not bigger. But I think with how much food we have, we'll be okay. I'll just keep it like this for about a week or two. It'll last in a fridge, in a paper bag like this. I just use my garage fridge. It's an old leaky fridge, hunk of crap. And I'll store it like that and feed it to the tortoises, and they'll eat nothing but plantain for the next 2 weeks or so probably. So if they don't like it, they'll learn to like it. But all tortoises I find love broadleaf plantain, my goodness. And just as it's about to go bad, these weeds, or anything that I find that isn't perfect, I just throw it on the drying rack and it'll dry out on the window screens. If you stay tuned long enough or check out other videos, you'll see my drying racks or drying window screen videos and ideas on how to feed a tortoise for free. Moving further, we can quickly see we have dandelion all over the place. Oh, we have some poorly growing grass. But right here we have some pansies or violas. Some more of them, Here's a whole schwack load of pansies and violas. And that's just my yard. Like, this here's a few days worth of food if I'd want it to be. It is super fruitful. It throws out little purple flowers that the tortoises just love. And a few handfuls of this. See, this is like a little fern here. Obviously a no feed, so we're gonna remove it because it's stealing from the pansies or violas. And like, and at the end of the year I pick it all and it dries out. Here we've got some henbit. That's an occasional. The violas or pansies, that is a safe daily feed. And the reason I'm going to take you over here is to show you the broadleaf plantain that the neighbor gave me is the same as this stuff here, but this is my stash, and he's going to let me feed from his stash because they don't use chemicals or fertilizers as well due to having young children on the lawn. There's some more of it there. It's just starting to rain. The tortoises are going to love this, I'm sure. Every time I cut the grass, I typically just do a 10-15 minute weed pick, and that's my food for the week. And in the meantime, instead of spending money buying fertilizers, buying chemicals to kill the weeds and to make your grass grow better, I find my grass here doesn't look bad besides the odd pea spot, which doesn't stop me from feeding. Dog pea spot, that does not stop me from feeding my tortoises. So it's just really not a fret. Absolutely spoiled here in Canada with free tortoise feeds. And just my enclosure here, we have ribgrass plantain. And like I said, spoiled. Here's mallow just growing thick as can be. Just from me drying it out in the yard, it now grows in the yard here. Everywhere too, like it's just sprouting up. Mallow, that's a safe feed. That's a number 2 fiber food, I'd say. Like there's just nothing wrong with it. I can't imagine spending my hard-earned dollars to drive to the store to purchase lettuces to deform my tortoise, or to purchase pellets that cause renal failure, pyramiding, and literally everything else wrong with the world. So with this being said, the rain's coming down. We're gonna say your pal Hobson Scotch is signing out.